There's like a few.
Okay. For number 1, you should have gotten x squared minus 6x plus 9. For number 2, x squared plus x squared minus 12x plus 36. So, hey, at this point, you should know that this here is going to be your first term squared. This here is your second term squared. And this here is these two multiplied together and then added twice. So right here, you would get triangle squared for the first term. For this term, star squared. Multiply the two, add it twice. 2 star triangle, and it's all positive. Or 2 triangle star, yes. Okay, so this was a process of expanding. So you were really doing this each time. And then for numbers 5, 6, 7, and 8, I was asking you to complete the square. So pretty much find this C term so that it looks like these, a perfect square trinomial. Okay, so x squared plus 8x, what was this? 16. What about this one? Now, how did we get this? Half the b term, right? 8 divided by 2 is 4, and then what do we do with that? Square it. Good. Half the b term, which is negative 6, and then square it, positive 36. Here, did anyone get the answer for this one? 9/4 is correct. Half the b, 1.5, but we're going to keep it a fraction. All right, and then so we have 3 over 2 squared. 3 over 2 squared is the same thing as 3 squared over 2 squared. So 9 over 4. You need to be able to do this in your head. Yes. 3 over 2 squared, you should be able to say 3 squared is 9, 2 squared is 4. No. I don't think so. What about this one? What'd you guys get? I can't. Someone confidently say something, because when you like, I have no idea what you're saying.
1/2 star?
1/2 star is not correct. Star squared over 4 is correct. Good job. So think about this. What are we dividing by 2? What are we dividing by 2 in this one? The 3 is, what is that called? The number in front of the variable? The coefficient. Only the coefficient is being divided. So here the variable is triangle. So the coefficient is the star. We're going to divide that star by 2. And then what are we going to do after that? What do we do after that? Square it. So we have a star squared over a 2 squared. So that becomes star squared over 4. That's a challenge question. That would be the same thing as like the letter N, the letter M, the letter B, that you see all the time on challenge quizzes. Okay, here's numbers 9, 10, and 11. So numbers 9, 10, and 11, go ahead and complete the square, but then get it back into its binomial squared form. 2 minutes. You good? Pretty big huff. Can you reach it? Remember, no decimals. Squaring a negative is a positive.
Okay, yeah.
Are you still sick? Yeah. Did you call me because you don't want to miss more than 3? Do you need some chocolate?
I would love some chocolate. Miss Wilson.
You have not had the flu for 3 days.
I've had the flu for 5. I got it on Sunday.
How do you know you have the flu?
Huh?
Did you take the flu test?
Yeah.
So you should have about a 6-foot bubble around you. So no one else gets sick.
Okay, yeah, but exemptions.
Exemptions, Miss Wilson.
Look at what the
You
board
do
has
not
done
have
to
flu right
these.
now.
Not right now.
I remember seeing you looking a little
That's why I'm
rough on Monday.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday.
Monday you were like, and looked angry. And I was like, ooh, Ruben's tired.
I
I didn't know you were sick. I thought you were just tired. Okay, number 9. Okay. What'd you guys get for number 9? What goes here?
5 equals x plus 5 squared.
Okay, this is x plus 5 squared, but what about here again? Okay. This will be on this lesson, okay? Number 9, for sure. How about number 10? What went here?
I thought it was
25 over 4 x minus 5 over 2. This is also in today's lesson. So get used to fractions. Now this one, did anyone get it? What's this?
I didn't even try this. Wait, why is it?
Star
Oh,
squared over 36 is correct. And what goes here? Triangle plus star over 6. Good job. So, right here, for those of you, I just want to make sure we understand how to do number 10. You know that you divide the negative 5 by 2. So we have negative 5 over 2 squared. That's how we got 25 over 4. It's always positive. Squaring a negative is a positive. Now, whatever you're squaring is going to go here. This one. So we had to divide this whole fraction without the triangle, divided by 2. So let me make sure you guys can see. So a star over 3 divided by 2. How do you divide things by 2 using multiplication?
multiply a half.
Yeah.
Oh,
So this becomes star over 6. So that was this divided by 2. And then we have to square that. So that's where we got star squared over 36.
I understand it now.
Cool. Okay. Today's lesson is simply just going to be me doing a few of the worksheet problems. And your goal is to finish that worksheet by the end of the day Monday. So on Monday, there's nothing else. You're just working on this worksheet. It's not like I have like half a lesson of this and a half lesson of this. The full 45, 53-minute period is completing this and then turning it in. So I don't think you should have homework. But if you think you are going to need that extra 10 minutes or something, maybe do a couple at home. But remember, I don't want you guys having homework unless it's absolutely necessary. So this is not factoring. And factoring was very, very important. Okay, number 1. X squared plus 4x minus 6 is equal to 0. This is your number 1 on your worksheet. Yeah, this is on your worksheet, your number 1. No. Nope. I'm writing on the Post-it because it's trash. Okay, don't write what I'm writing on the Post-it. You just took a test. You would think, oh, I can probably factor this, right? X times x gives me x squared. And then 6 is 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. What do you want to try first? 2 and 3? This is going to give us 3x. This is going to give us 2x. Am I going to be able to get 4?
No.
No matter what, I will not. This is not factorable. So that means that the tool that you've learned, which is solve by factoring, is not one that can be used for this specific trinomial.
Are we supposed to
No.
like add or subtract to both sides?
Hold on, yes. So if you read the title says solving by completing the square. So what we're going to do first, so your first step every time is to move the C term to the other side. So you have your A, B, and your C. Move that C to the other side. But next to that 4x, you're going to put a blank. Yep. Do you agree that this equation and this equation are the same? Mathematically, are they the same? This is still empty, so far it's still saying the same thing. Okay, I want us to create this trinomial so that it is a perfect square trinomial. For short, complete the square. What does this have to be? 4. If I am adding 4 here to keep it equal, I have to add a 4 here. It's like adding pounds, right? The equation started as an equals, which means one is the same weight as the other. So if you add 4 pounds to one side, to keep it equal, you got to add 4 pounds to the other. Okay. Now we can rewrite this as a binomial squared, and these two together will make a 10. What would this become? X plus 2. Good. All right, and if you read the directions, it also says not only by completing the square, but also by using the square root method. So to be able to solve for x, you have to get rid of the square. You have to undo a square. To undo a square, you square root. Oop. So what you're going to do is you're going to square root both sides. Both sides because you're keeping it equal. Square rooting a square, they undo one another. So we're left with x plus 2 is equal to plus or minus the square root of 10. Mini lesson. You do not have to write this down. If I told you that x squared is equal to 16, what does x equal? Can x equal something else? A negative 4. The answer to this would say x is equal to positive or negative 4. The notation of the work would look like this. So square rooting a square undoes one another, and you get positive or negative 4 because you know that squaring a negative still gives you a positive, correct? Does everyone understand that? When you square root a variable, when you square root an unknown, that means that that unknown can be both a positive and a negative. This is different though. The square root of 16 is and only is 4. Only. Because there's no unknown here, right? This is only a positive 16. Whereas this, because it was unknown, could have been a -4 quantity squared. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
So if you're taking a square root of an integer, it's only going to be what it spits out. If you take a square root of an unknown, that's when it's a positive or negative because it can be multiple things in there. Yes? Ask questions if you don't understand. What I mean by understand, like if you say, okay, Miss Wilson, I get it. I take a square root of an x, it's always plus minus. Do you know why, though? Do you understand why? Why this and this? Okay. All right. Moving on, then. We are not done yet because we still have to solve for x. But what I have to do? Instead of subtracting, can we just move him over? He's always going to go in front of the plus minus. So now we have x equals -2 plus or minus the square root of 10.
That's the answer.
Yep. How many is that? How many solutions do we have there? There is 2, which makes sense because, 90% of the time we're going to get 2 solutions when we're solving a parabola. Sorry. I'm going to show you how this makes sense on Desmos real quick. Didn't even know you could do that. Okay, so we started with x squared plus 4x minus 6, and we're trying to see when it equals 0. And these are our solutions. -5.16, 1.16, let me have a little bit bigger. Okay, there we go. Okay, one of our answers was -2 plus square root of 10. -2 minus square root of 10. Does that match what we got? Reason why factoring doesn't work is because factoring is only for integers, right? You can only use whole numbers when you factor. Okay, back to another example. So the examples I'm trying to do an example from each type so that when you get to a different question, you're like, oh, she did do one like this. Let me refer, oh, not number 2. That's going to bother me. Flip. The next one I'm going to do is number 6. Number 6. X squared minus 2 is equal to 9x. Correct. Get it in its correct form. Stay focused, please. Focused. Get it in the correct form, which means your A and your B term are on the left. C is on the right. So these both have to move. I am going to do a plus blank here. Is equal to positive 2. All right. No decimals. How am I going to get this? What do I have to do with the -9? And then do what? So -9 over 2 squared. All you have to do is square both the top and the bottom. Positive. Squaring a negative, this is always a plus. So 81 over 4. But if I add an 81 over 4 to one of the sides, I have to keep it equal and do it to the other. What is going to go here? whatever this is,
Oh.
minus,
Minus 3. I don't know where I got that.
it's whatever you're squaring.
Oh.
Whatever you're squaring is what goes here. So we squared a -9/2. Now we have to do this piece.
Oh, you don't have to do mixed numbers.
No. All right, put this over 1. Make it a common denominator. Multiply both the top and the bottom by 4. So what we will get is 8/4 plus 81/4, 89/4. Good? So far?
Yep.
What's our next step?
Square root.
Square rooting a square. They undo one another. Okay, it's not new. You've probably seen it before. When you square root an entire fraction like that, that is the same thing as square rooting each of these individually. We do that because can you take the square root of 4? Yeah, the square root of 4 is 2. The square root of 89 will stay that, square root of 89. What am I forgetting? Plus or minus. Next, solve for x.
Add 9/2.
Remember, it's going to go in front of the plus or minus. So x equals a positive 9/2 plus or minus the square root of 89/2. When your denominators are the same, write it as one large fraction.
9 plus or minus 8. Jeez.
Done. How many solutions is that? 2. Do we have any questions so far? It's the same process each time. Sometimes the numbers get uglier, but that does not make the process harder. Yeah. No. You're going to want to see this. Sorry. All right, number 12. Number 12, you're looking at 6x squared minus 18x is equal to 0. I chose this one because your a value is something other than 1. I can see we're all starting to get sleepy. This is it. This is the last one. Completing the square with an a value other than 1 is it's just we don't want to do it. If we can make it a 1, we need to.
Common factor of 6.
Yes. But instead of common factor, this is an equation, right? We can actually divide everything, all 3 pieces, by 6. When you're doing both the left and the right, it's not actually taking out a factor. You just simplify. No, this one doesn't have an x. So minus 3x is equal to 0. I'm trying to find why the answer to your question is no. Because 6, you can do 0. Okay, anyway, it looks much better. We're just missing one thing. Yeah, so right now we're already ready to do our little blank. Complete the square. What goes there? Positive 9/4. That's why I put this plus here. It's always positive. So you're going to divide it by 2. And that is going to be squared. That's how we get this. But if I add 9/4, I have to do the same thing here. All right, so we get to change it to this squared is equal to 9 over 4. Okay, what do I do? X, good, minus whatever we're squaring, square root both sides, I'm starting to chatter. What's going on?
So,
Remember, this is the same thing as the square root of 9 over the square root of 4.
so if you square root both of them, do you have to have the square root?
No. The whole fraction is a perfect square. Move this 3 over 2, negative 3 over 2 to the other side. X equals a positive 3 over 2 plus or minus 3 over 2. Well, right now our denominators are the same, so we're going to make it one large fraction. And then, because these are all good numbers, they are integers, that means we can go a step further. We can actually find what these are. So this is asking us to do 3 plus 3 and then divide that by 2.
Oh.
3 minus 3 and divide it by 2.
0 and 3.
Good, so 6 over 2 is 3. 0 over 2 is 0. X equals,
Is it the brackets?
yep, 0 and 3, and they're braces, not brackets. Brackets are just straight lines.
Yeah.
I don't know, because that's a good question. I'll ask ChatGPT. Now check it out. If this was on your test yesterday, this is what you would have been expected to do.
Yeah.
Oops. Divide by 6, x equals 0. Add 3, x equals 3. You get the same answer.
Why are we doing it the long?
For that specific question, out of the tools that you currently have in your belt, yes, that would have been the smarter option. Now, on this worksheet, it is asking you to only use completing the square and the square root method. The goal is that you've done enough practice in each method that if you were to give a worksheet, you could choose which one would be the smartest option. So far, you still have not, I know you've learned it in the past, but you have not learned I always forget her name. Who is the most powerful superhero in Marvel? Captain Marvel, is that the girl?
I mean, if that's your thinking.
Yes, Captain Marvel, but somebody said something witch.
Scarlet Witch.
Is that her?
So one of that is
Like the one that goes to planets and literally saves everything.
That's Captain Marvel.
Okay, so the Captain Marvel of solving quadratics is the quadratic formula. That is can be used for everything. Where would completing the square not be smart? Imagine if this was like a 7x squared.
When the A is a negative.
Me too.
When the A is
I didn't hear it.
when the A is an odd number. Shit.
Because what if, 7, 14?
Oh.
Then you can just divide it.
Right. So like if that A term is not divisible, then completing the square would suck because now you have a fraction, another fraction, now you're squaring a fraction and then adding fractions and all of its fractions.
Yeah.
So that's not going to happen. You now have the rest of the period to complete that worksheet, and remember you have the whole period on Monday as well.
I asked first.
Okay, let him go. Can I go after him?
Yes.
Nicholas.
Frick you, baby.
Dude,